The next step you have to take in order to get your studio approved is submitting your studio rooms and syncing your calendars. It's very easy to do this in our dashboard. You come to the dashboard and go to this menu over here and click on Sync Calendars. This will bring up this page over here where you can click on this drop down and select the studio that you want to modify. Over here, you'll be displayed the studios that you have submitted so far, but on this account, I've only submitted Studio X, so I'm gonna go click on this studio. This will bring up this table, which will be empty in the beginning. In order to add a room, you click on this button here that says Add Room. This will bring up this row on this table, and you have to go ahead and modify this information. Scroll to the right and click Edit and add the room name. Over here, you get to select the calendar type. So if you are using Google or Outlook Calendar, we do offer the service to sync these specific calendars at the moment. We're working to add more calendars in the coming days. We're targeting Apple calendars very soon, and we'll be adding more after that. But right now, you can only sync Google and Outlook Calendar. For this room over here, room A, I will be syncing a Google Calendar. And for Calendar ID, this is where you submit the email. So the email that's connected with this Google Calendar. For this one, I'm going to be using one of my dummy emails. And then you're going to see this calendar sync option over here. It's going to say not available. If you hover over this eye, it says sync will be available after you submit your changes. So once we click save, this is going to be available. But before we do that, we're going to fill this up as well. And this is the room types. Now, if you remember correctly, when we submitted Studio X, we've selected that the studio offers rehearsal spaces, podcast spaces, as well as music studio. So that's why we get to see these three options. If we didn't select one of these, they'll not be here. So for this room over here, we're going to say this is a music studio, and then we're going to click save. Make sure you click save, otherwise this information does not get saved. So after this, you'll see that this button is now clickable. It says click to sync. So if you click on this, it's going to take you to the Google login. You'll be able to log in with that email you provided, and then you click accept this tool to read your calendar. So what happens here is just it only reads the availability slots. It doesn't read any information more than that. So it's just going to check the time slots and see if you're available or you're not at that specific time. So we're going to click allow, and it's going to bring you back to our availability page. Go back here and click the drop down, and then you come back here, you should see that this is synced. If this is not synced, that means something went wrong, and try again. But this one worked successfully, so we're going to add a few more rooms here just for the sake of it. So we're going to add another room. We click edit. We'll say this is room B, and then we're going to, for calendar, we're going to submit another Google Calendar, and then we're going to use another different email. And this is not available yet. For this one, we're going to say podcast space, and then we're going to click save. And then we're going to sync this as well. This is the email I submitted. We're going to click allow, and then come back here, and we see that both of these emails have been synced. Now, notice that I've used two different emails for the same studio, but the rooms are different. So the way we manage rooms is we use separate calendars to manage the time for each specific room in a studio. You can use the same email for different rooms, but that does cause an issue where there will be overlapping time slots. So if somebody books a studio room A at 11 o'clock to 6 o'clock, nobody else will be able to book room B because the calendar is going to show that this room is booked. And that's why we use two different emails. And that's pretty much it. This is how you sync your calendars.